everyone. Welcome back to the Midday Musing podcast, where we talk about topics that are useful for life and leadership. My name is Rita and joining me is my wonderful co-host, Pam. Today, we're going to be diving into the topic we discussed last session on contempt. We talked about how does contempt show up and the reasons. Today, we will be diving into what are the roots of it and how do we overcome it? And I'm very excited that we can continue talking about this topic because I know that some of you, asked questions and you were very interested. So here we are doing one more on this.
Yes, thank you, Rita. And thank you for all of you who text us, who emailed us, who gave us responses on this topic of contempt. So based on your request, we're just diving a little bit deeper about contempt as a deeply destructive emotion, and it corrodes relationships. And not just, it steals our joy. So the Bible, it talks about Jesus expecting us to do these things that seem so impossible, like loving our enemies, forgiving endlessly, harboring no contempt in our hearts. But contempt pops up, and I found how do you deal with it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I recently finished writing my book. It is available now on Amazon. And in my book is actually titled Sparkle, Your 7-Step Guide to a Joy-Infused Life. According to neuroscience, the definition of joy is glad to be with you. And it comes from knowing that we are deeply loved and we have the source that we go to. In the book, I talk about leaky cisterns, things that drain our joy, and contempt is one of them. So let's talk about that today. Have you ever heard of the word leaky cisterns, Rita?
And so I can't wait to, understand what that actually means. So what do you think you mean when you say that in your book?
From Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. And Jeremiah was a prophet in the Old Testament, and God spoke through him, and God said he felt forsaken when we run after sources that drain our joy rather than fill us up with joy. So we need to actually shift where we go looking for joy. And when in this topic of contempt, a lot of times we place expectations on other people to be our source of security. It could be a job, it could be our children. And when they're not up to the mark, we get kind of critical. Critical is the precursor to contempt.
So how do you think this relates to us overcoming contempt, on a day-to-day life? Because I know you alluded to being joyful and you alluded to not suffering, not living a life of suffering. Although in life you will go through suffering, there will be trials. However, we're talking about the inner person, right? Being joyful through it all. So how does this relate to that?
Yeah, I appreciate you talking about suffering. Suffering, when you look in the scriptures, they say when you're suffering, you should be joyful. And that's what kind of led me to this expedition, because I did not feel joyful when I'm suffering. So contempt, we're talking about contempt today. So contempt often stems from this need for control, or we might have some fear, or we might have insecurities, which all leak our joy and our drains our joy. So when we try to fill our lives with these broken sources of joy, fear, control, insecurity, they leave us feeling empty and dissatisfied. We need to have a source that can pour into us that's unlimited, and abundant. And that's what God is offering us. And he wants us to protect our hearts from contempt. Maybe I can give you an example. There was a time when I was deeply frustrated with my spouse because I tend to be a perfectionist. And I have this particular way I want my kitchen sink to be, my dishes to be, and my husband, with his generous heart, always offers to wash the dishes, which is great. But instead of my heart being filled with gratitude, I noticed that it would just give me tension and resentment, and contempt started coming in. And in my book, I have given you all a process where we can go to God to find out where's this contempt coming from. And so as I was processing this with God, he kind of showed me how I have this high expectations because I want things to be in control and everything to look perfect because of my insecurity. And so when I realized that, it was easy for me to go to him for my security rather than getting everything perfect on the outside, which never actually, it's never perfect. And I could never access this joy. It was all about my control. And so when I released that, the second step to Sparkle, the A in Sparkle is appreciation. I was able to appreciate my husband and be so grateful for who he is. So that's a little glimpse of just me wrestling with the contempt that was in my heart.
Wow. Okay, that's profound. I appreciate you sharing. I believe thinking about this word contempt, it prompts us to evaluate where does joy, the opposite of contempt, or fulfillment, or peace come from, right? And I believe in the last episode, we learned about relationships, and I know you just shared about, in a relationship with your spouse. I was thinking contempt can also be towards oneself. And sometimes it's so part of who we are, and that we're unable to see that. I know that is something that I felt like I have been learning about myself. It's like you somehow developed contempt towards your own self. It can be characterized by negative thoughts and feelings, and that are directed not just towards others but towards yourself. We call that self-sabotage, and perfectionism, and or so many other things, self-destructive habits and things that we know are good for us, but then somehow we move away from them. And I think I have learned that that is not good for me. And I have been harboring this nature, this character for so long that it has robbed me of the joy that I could have had, or the peace, because it's led to anxiety, it's led to depression and sadness, and it affects our mental health in such a great way. And I think this is something that I really want to, uh, talk a little bit more about, because I think we need this help. I know I needed it, and I know that many of us do as well. So I'm really glad that we're actually talking about this, and
Yeah.
we can now learn practically how do we go to this living source, the living water, the cistern that is not broken,
Yeah.
that's not leaking, and how do we overcome that?
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rita, for highlighting that contempt is not just something we feel towards others, or things might happen in our job that we didn't expect. And contempt can grow, can get critical. And you talked about we can have contempt towards ourselves too. And God is actually calling us to that true living water source, because that's the only wellspring that can truly satisfy our deepest longings in a world that's often filled with leaky cisterns. And so it's the first step is that embracing this mindset so that we have the source we can go to, so we can let go of this fear, let go of our rejection, let go of our insecurity, because we are the sparkle in God's eye. And when we get that source and get that belief in us, the contempt actually melts away.
Well, let's now talk about some practical ways how we can cultivate this mindset. Obviously, contempt comes from inside, it's in our thoughts, it's in our heart. But how do we overcome this? What should we do?
I think the first thing is understanding and getting more awareness of how our body and our brain works. In our last episode, I mentioned how when we experience contempt, what's happening in our brain is we're lacking the empathy. We talked about when we look at someone who we have empathy for, we feel compassion, we feel love. But when we don't have empathy, we feel contempt. So it's important for us to recognize when are we expressing that. And you can have signs of tension or understanding, oh, my body, I'm draining some joy here, because it says rejoice always. So when you're losing the joy, that's a sign that contempt is knocking at the door.
Wow, that's good. I mean, that's a great way of helping us see how, carrying these things in our bodies. And then if you continue for a long while like that, obviously you lose, our joy, and we lose the peace, and we lose all of the good things that we are created for in this short life that we have. I remember, uh, learning about brain in the last few years, even as I trained to be a brain health coach. I was fascinated by how God has already given us a resource. For everything, there's a solution, and we can actually train our brains, or change our mind or mindset, as you would say, to think differently. And it's possible. I know that by default, we can be negative, we have experiences, it's subjective, we believe it, and it's true, and nobody can deny that. But God has also given us the ability to change it, and brain plays such a big role in it. And there is hope. It doesn't matter how or where you are at in life right now. I know for me that I have hope, that I can change these things that'll take my joy away, or that is taking my joy away, or my peace away. And I love the fact that science and scripture can come together to do that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You are an excellent brain coach, and I've just really seen you grow in releasing that contempt you feel. And you've also helped me with releasing a lot of contempt. So when we start growing in that awareness, that's our step one. We need to know what's going on in our brain, what's going on in our body, not just live in our default of criticism and contempt. So another strategy that I offer in my book is something that I call conversational prayer. And I give you a whole journal prompt on how do we first get aware, and how do you talk to God or go to the source so that you're getting all that stuff out. Because once you're aware, now what do you do with that stuff? We need to be able to go to the source and get it all out and change our perspective and really feel seen, heard, understood, valued for what we were feeling. We're not just dismissing the feeling because it's valid and it's true, but only God can reframe our mind and work behind the scenes for us so that we can just hold on to the joy that He's offering us.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Pam. I think also making it practical is really helpful. And the way you said, in your book, you've given us those steps to follow it. And I know that you and I have been through that exercise quite a few times. And so I can tell you that it works because, our life is so busy and has so many things happening. And even though we are aware, like I know for me, even when I become aware, sometimes I find it's hard to change it. Like I see it, but then I don't know if I can change it or how do I change it. So I think learning to practically, in a very simple manner, is such a great help. And I think that is what we need to do. Contempt is something that's going to come in and out of our life because of life. We're weak and we need help and we're sinful and we do things that are wrong. And yet we know there's a source that actually can help us overcome it.
I'm so grateful for you. You are a brain health certified coach. And if anyone wants that help, and if that's where you're starting, where you're living in this default mode and you're just even recognizing, oh, there's something called contempt, I encourage you to reach out to Rita and get some deeper help with her coaching program. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. And summarizing what we talked about, overcoming contempt begins with recognizing our leaky cisterns, the sources. Where is it coming from? Your fear or control or insecurity or bitterness or past experiences or difficult life or belief systems that you picked up along the way. But by turning to God, how you can actually change these things. And I really love the fact that we can do that and follow a step-by-step plan, not just once, not just twice, but as many times as we need to, because this is an ongoing journey. I can't wait to buy your book. So I'm going to everybody, if you want to know the 7-step guide and to have that sparkle in your eyes of joy, as Pam says, please go today and buy the book on Amazon. And I really think that that's going to help us in our journey towards overcoming contempt in our life. I'm glad that we can have these tools and do small steps. Like I always say, small steps that you and I can do towards overcoming contempt and living a life that we are intended to be, a life full of joy and fulfillment. So thank you for that, Pam.
Yes, exactly. So thank you all for joining us today on our musings. And we hope this episode has encouraged you to let go of contempt and just embrace that joy and freedom